The legacy is rich and manifold. Mercedes racing comes from the very depths of motor history. It achieved its pre-war pinnacle in the Caracciola and von Brauchitsch generation and reached its most brilliant point in 1954-55. The latter sparkling epoch was the era of Juan Manuel Fangio, who gained 2 world championship titles for Mercedes.
Llegó Fangio. Los primeros 9 puntos del Campeonato Mundial 1955 quedan así.
Victory at Monza in 1955 closed the Silver Arrow chapter. Nostalgia for the abandoned steep curve at Monza, where old legends still flourish. Memories of the success of the early years remain green and are continuously revitalized, as is only right of a conquering stable with an attitude for taking care. Such occasions, which are enjoyed by all, bring friends of the movement of yesterday and today together. The admiration of the young and the nostalgia of the old blur the boundaries of time travel. The exit display enriches the atmosphere of many of today's racing events. The Silver Arrow myth is most vividly experienced at the Mercedes Museum in Untertürkheim, a powerful source of dreamlike thoughts, such as, for example, that after 42 years, silver will again gleam in Grand Prix racing. Forget everything you've ever heard about motor enamels, how the paint has been applied to the car, how it acquires strength and burnished joy is due to a whole week of craftwork. Enamel, airbrush and adhesion are individually applied, and as their joint appearance clearly shows, no car is exactly like another. Painting a Grand Prix racer is more than the application of color. Here a message is created, packaged and sealed. The strongest messages always come from London. The summer collection highlights were presented on the 13th of February. The fashion is slim and sleek, with a good leading edge and high contact pressure. Altogether, a very youthful way of wearing traditional silver. The message from the Silver Arrow, dispatched in London, landed on the dot in Australia. A seasonal start for a world championship with 17 races on 3 continents and 3 billion fans. Formula One in its contemporary setting, the theme of enhancing technology as a spectacle in the public eye. High tech with true love. Do you know of any other performance show with so much emotion? The toughest competition finds a soft landing as a very welcome spot of colour in fans' lives. As soon as the season starts in Melbourne, immediately it's victory for the new Silver Arrow, with David Coulthard leading Michael Schumacher and Mika Hakkinen. 42 years after Monza and Fangio, the colour silver is again in vogue in Grand Prix sport. The updated message with the old value content triggers a fantastic media echo. Which is what our two young men can do with, since David Coulthard and Mika Hakkinen are people you like to see and hear. The Scotsman and the Finn at home with the Swabians, a visit to Stuttgart. An exciting atmosphere also produces new ideas in advertising, as well as creating pleasure in return visits.
The C-Class is now even more attractive, safe and comfortable. Formula One driver Mika Hakkinen is testing whether it's also faster.
Tomorrow, tennis.
No.
The Master's Cap is the only bit of folklore here. At Mercedes, an eye for tradition also means applied technology. And that's how the Mercedes 300 SLR 8-cylinder of 1955 runs even today on the fully serviceable test stand of the period. The racing engines are overhauled and run in according to the original drawings. It goes without saying, they're also fit for their various excursions. Right next door, the future runs on the test bench. Mercedes is the laboratory for engine development in this Formula One project. Basic research is provided for the V10, thought up and built by the engine designer Ilmor. Experience on the test bench flows effortlessly into the program during test runs, since good luck with the last race is fleeting. There are no breaks, no stopping for breath. Further development becomes an extended situation. Evolution eats up their holidays. The maturing period of a racing car is now compressed in the accelerated life cycle under Formula One. The road is clear for heady growth when the interplay of information and the chemistry between engineers and drivers is right. Talent and character are already there. What's needed now is the special shaping up in the designer group. These days, filled with hard work, also have their atmospheric attraction with the roar of the lonely racer across the empty arena. At the baseline of all practice, computer-supported design is the drawing board of the postmodern engineer. Winter goes, racing comes, work stays. At McLaren and Mercedes, chassis, aerodynamics and the 10-cylinder propulsion unit are developed at high speed. It's the eternal search for clever solutions. Materials and surfaces for future developments are tried out on the one-cylinder test bench in Stuttgart at speeds of up to 18,000 revolutions per minute. Just next door at the permanent test site, every Grand Prix stretch in the world can be simulated and driven round precisely to 1/10 of a second. So the maiden flight of new ideas is quickly brought down to earth in practical terms. All parts of the engine are produced at Ilmor. They start with gigantic milling machines that work to tolerances of 1/1000th of a millimetre. Connecting rods, pistons and crankshafts are milled from the whole. Delicate handling of the 60-ton monster containing the material creates engineering gems. Something like 6,000 components go into an engine, and each one must undergo every conceivable inspection, checked and rechecked. The tolerances for Formula One motor manufacturer are far beyond our comprehension. Or what, for example, would we imagine a micron to be? Perhaps the cross-section of a human hair, looking like a massive tree trunk. Everyone knows how delicate is the work of assembling an engine. The air is thin at the high-tech summit. After victory at Melbourne, Mercedes has already produced the next generation of engines. Even the more compact, with even more torque, but using less fuel, the results are shorter filling times and faster pit stops.
Well done, everybody. The F engine has been put together on time. It has run on a dyno, and as usual, it ran without problem. And I would like to thank all of you for the great effort you put into this program, and hopefully it is as successful as the startup has been. Thank you.
So that we don't lose our feeling for the elemental wonder of technology through sheer pressure of performance, we are sending you the latest messages from the innards of the engine. A trip into the eye of the volcano. Skill, dedication and a fanatical eye for detail characterize life also at the partner McLaren, who have won 7 world championships. From the furnace of space technology comes the amazing likeness of rigidity, and the engine plays an integral part. Safety is one of the pillars of progressive racing today. A Formula One cockpit is the most advanced outpost of physics, as far as earthbound people are concerned. And here too, McLaren and Mercedes are jointly researching an airbag solution together with the FIA. Crash tests are already part of today's state-of-the-art in Formula One. The interplay of chassis and engine is the be-all and end-all of a competitive Grand Prix car. The new Mercedes-Benz engine is narrower, lower and 15 kilograms lighter than its predecessor. It gives McLaren's aerodynamicists more room for maneuver. Through the theory of planning and testing and design, Formula One enters the spotlight of enthusiasm for the world's most popular sport. When David and Mika drive to the office, so to speak, they already find the right feeling for relaxation and extra kick of modern business life. There's nothing like a Mercedes A-Class. What fascinates all of us most with Formula One is the breadth of the divide between the two diverging lines, simultaneously at the extremes of ferocity and of sensitivity. In addition, there is plenty of space left for our desire for mystery, the facets of the highly complex overlaying each other into ever new miracles and leaps forward, which is why this sport retains the freshness of surprise even after all the strategy and perfection of the processes. In some precious moments, the ideal harmonies of pilot, chassis and engine reaches a state of perfection. All expenditure and all efforts over the past months gain meaning and reward at this pinnacle of mountain high climbers' success. Pit Stop, the 10-second playlet, choreographed for 18 artists. A Sunday in September at Monza, here in the Ferrari Cathedral, where Mercedes abandoned its racing activities in 1955, David Coulthard claimed his second victory of the season. A few weeks later in Jerez, Mika Hakkinen wins his first Grand Prix ahead of Coulthard and Jacques Villeneuve, the new world champion. And they were more than ever the victories of an entire team, a reward for work and ideas, more importantly for all the enthusiasm behind them. The Silver Arrows are the new ambassadors of surprising avenues, fresh ideas and new goals at Mercedes-Benz. Silver is again in, and there are still plenty of arrows in the bag, slim and compelling, aimed at precisely in the direction of what we're looking forward to.
ich